Today's short discussion is on side hustles. We're going to be talking about why it makes almost no sense to have a side hustle. I know it's all the rage right now. It's been for a number of years, especially during COVID, and it hasn't relaxed since then. Everyone thinks that they need to be doing more, working harder, getting side hustles in order to achieve financial independence. I think it actually works against you to have side hustles. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I think that and some things that I think you should be doing instead to really maximize your ability to reach financial independence. For those of you new to the channel, this is Simplify. I'm Ryan, and I talk to you about things I think might help simplify your financial independence journey. So if you find some sort of value in today's episode, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to hear about a certain topic, I'd be happy to do a future video that does address your concerns. Now let's start off with why side hustles make no sense. First off, side hustles tend to be very low paying jobs. They're usually gig jobs. They allow you to have flexible hours because you're working around maybe another main source of income and you're trying to squeeze it in. They end up depleting your time, they deplete your energy, and you get very little in return. The money you're making is not worth your hourly time. And instead of becoming more focused and specialized on something that you can scale to a much larger degree, you end up spending your time doing a job that probably doesn't require any specialized skills, brings in a little bit more income, but also spreads you so thin that you're not able to really specialize in something. In order to increase your income significantly in a way that's scalable to the 7 or 8 figure area, you really have to have specialized skills that people are willing to pay outsized returns for in order to benefit from that skill. If you are delivering groceries, if you are doing something in your off hours like virtual assistant work, you're really not developing any specific skill. You're doing something that has a very low barrier to entry. And because of that, you'll never get rewarded in an exceptional way. Instead, you'll be trading off your time for that small amount of money. Now, when does it make sense to have a side gig? There are really 2 times in which I think it makes sense. The first is if you want to separate from a traditional job that you've had for a number of years or even a short period of time, but you don't want to go all in. You want to start experimenting with an alternative. You have an idea for a business. You want to sell something online. You want to create a new product. This is a great time to have that as a side gig. You can incrementally increase your time versus the return on investment that you're getting. And at some point you'll reach a threshold where it makes more sense to jump onto that gig full time versus having it as a side gig. Or maybe you discover that it's just not worth it. This is not worth my time, and you stop doing it because you're really not maximizing your benefit. The other circumstance where it might make sense is if you're in a pinch. You've had a medical emergency, you need some money to pay off a debt, or you have something that's looming over your head and it requires a little extra cash. You can do it for a fixed period of time in order to make good on that issue, but only for a fixed period of time, because ultimately you're draining your energy, you're draining your resources, you're making yourself, your presence so scarce that you're not able to concentrate on what's going to bring outsized returns for your financial independence. Now, a lot of people think they really just need to learn a little bit more on the sides. They need to bring in addition to their salary, X number of dollars. Or maybe you're a teacher and you work about 8 months out of the year, 9 months, and you have 3 months off. Then you have a period of time to devote yourself to something else. What do I recommend you do at this time? Well, don't just give it away to a low-paying, low-skill job. Instead, use that time to develop a very unique, specialized skill. A skill that will pay you a lot more in return for your time. This makes sense. This gives you opportunities. It opens doors for other careers in the future instead of just doing low-skilled gig work or traditional side gig jobs. Develop a product, develop a business, develop some knowledge or skill in an area that you can market and sell for good returns. There are a lot of influencers who are selling you on this side gig economy. They're telling you that you can make it. This is what you need. You just need to increase by a little bit your income. But what they're really leaving out is the effect that this might have on your overall quality of life. Now, I'm all for hard work. When I find a job that I love, I pour my heart into it. I'll put 80, 90 hours a week in without even thinking about it. This doesn't stress me out. It actually energizes me. It brings energy and quality of life to another level. When you're doing a side gig that you don't love, you're probably draining from this energy pool instead of contributing to it. It's not something that you love or see a future in. It's not a passion. Instead, you're just working long, hard hours. And in some cases, this may be necessary, but in most, it's not. It would be better to have a very specialized period of time devoted to developing a skill that will pay you more in the long run. Ultimately, you want to invest in yourself. You want anything you do with your time to make you better, to make you stronger, to give you more knowledge, you more skills, and you more capabilities to improve your life and your financial independence. So instead of watching a bunch of YouTube videos on the best side gig in 2025, think more about your future vision, the work that you want to be doing, where your passions align with specialized skills that people pay lots of money for. Start a business, invest in an entrepreneurial journey that may pay on a huge scale. Everything's about scalability. You can't really scale your time at a low-paying job in the gig economy. Instead, you can scale with improved specialized skills that pay you more for limited amounts or less of your time and energy. I know this is somewhat controversial for folks. They think, how can I go wrong with making more money? And I completely disagree. It's all about maximizing what people pay you for the thing that you are doing. If this makes sense to you, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.